Today I want to talk about, again, something that I've noticed with conspiracy theorists. And that is, they like to bang on about how good critical thinkers they are. And the second is, they have something really bad against education and higher education in particular. We'll start with the first one, critical thinking. This is the most hilarious thing you can often look at, and that is when a conspiracy theorist decides he's going to debunk another conspiracy theorist. And what you get from that, quite frankly, is the most hilarious outcomes. Strange information, dubious sources at best. But sometimes, the conspiracy theory guy does do a good job debunking the other guy. And sometimes they are often right. Sometimes actually it's shocked that they actually have factual information from actual proper sources that disproves completely what the other guy is saying. And it's, backed up, it's peer-reviewed, it's legitimate evidence against the argument the other guy's putting. Now, where does the critical thinking element comes in? Well, it comes into everything. Critical thinking is a skill everyone has. It doesn't matter what you do in your daily life, you have it. Now, critical thinking, it can be taught, but only to a certain extent. Examples, daily lives, is this good to eat? A, B, yes it is, no it isn't, here's why it is good, here's why it's not good to eat. But here's the other thing that factors into that. Evidence. Because evidence is an important part when you come into critical thinking. Otherwise, you're just basically making guesses that are wild guesses with no evidence to support what you are saying. It's not, it's not even thinking, it's guesswork. And again, it's hilarious to watch conspiracy theorists debunk other conspiracy theorists because they will use everything that I've just said and yet they will not apply it to their own conspiracy theories because they've got blinkers on. They will only see what they want to see because that's what they want to see. They can't apply the skills they've just applied, to debunk, their fellow conspiracy theorist who they think is damaging their own cause or something like that. So they'll debunk him, but then they won't apply their own skills to it, to their own theories, to maybe think, well, maybe our theory's wrong for X, Y, and Z. Let's see how maybe, not make it work, but, why isn't it working? Let's do some proper thinking and find some evidence to back up that thinking. So, it's a strange conversations to see, and there are lots. If you go on conspiracy forums, you'll see them quite a few times. And if you get involved with them, sometimes literally just asking, so what conspiracy theories do you believe in? It's amazing how sometimes they don't cross, but they are almost very, very close to the conspiracy theories they're actually debunking. So that's quite funny. The second part is education. And I don't know what conspiracy theorists have against education, but it's a common factor. And it comes down to, public and private school students are taught differently. Well, they are taught differently. Private schools have more money. That's the whole point, at the end of the day, they have more money. But, again, I've been to university, I've spoken to private school students. In fact, when I've been to, a couple of different universities, I've run into far more publicly educated people at universities than private schools. Now, people can say, "Oh, yeah, but all the private schools go to the big ones, Oxford, stuff like that." Well, no, they don't. You'd be surprised how many private school educated people don't continue on to university, or they don't go to the universities you'd think they'd go to. Not because they actually don't go to Oxford University, and they go to a different university because that's part of the plan. They just go to different universities. People pursue what they want to do. And I've even met there was a guy at our university. He was private school, and he dropped out because he found university to be too unstructured for him. So again, it comes back to, but I've lost my train of thought now. So it's difficult to understand, and I wonder if, and I'm not saying these people are dumb, because sometimes it's quite obvious that some people are being taken for a ride and they are going, "That person is so right," and then you listen to what the person is saying and they're not. Again, it comes back to they're not using critical thinking to their own theories. They've got blinkers on that are blocking them. They're being very, very biased to their worldview of it. And it's one of the things that they seem to have is education. It seems to be their angry point, sort of. So I don't know whether they find that people who are higher educated to them are sort of enemies, and it's a sort of many of the conspiracy theorists themselves are often graduates. Again, it'd be interesting to see how, if you did a survey of conspiracy theorists, how many what their education levels are actually. I think that would be interesting to find out. But again, I find it confusing that they have this rage against education. Now there are legitimate arguments about education system for any country, but they take it to another extreme and they show stuff that's not really there, like they normally do. Like there was an explosion at the World Trade Center. Well, neither can you hear it, nor was it registered, nor did anyone else really see these explosions. So there's a bit of about it, and it's quite. I don't understand it personally. I don't understand why they have this beef with education, but that seems to be their beef, and education is their beef. So, although it might have something to do with that, the majority of higher education people are more likely to debunk their theories, or disapprove of them, or show them evidence that says your theory is not right for X, Y, and Z reasons, but the conspiracy theorist is adamant that they are right, and that this person is wrong because, well, they've been taught wrong, so to say. So it's quite strange, and I don't understand. I do understand it, but at the same time I don't understand it. It's quite strange.